Gungrave. Great show if you can get past the animation and never watch episode 14 and beyond, or end in 14, because that show turned to shit. I'm going to mention like random anime tips as we go along. Here on Z Reviews, I'm Zeos Pantera, otherwise known as Z, otherwise known as the Lord Prince of Darkness. I don't know, some shit. Anyway, we're not reviewing these. I already did the Mackies. They're brilliant. Like, I know because I just tried something else and I was like, everyone's like, this is great. And I'm like, but the Mackies. But the Mackies. We're here to review the SMSL Sanskrit. I believe this is the 10th Mark II high-end DAC USB optical coaxial input red. $110 purchased by me on October 13th, 2020. And I picked that wallpaper in particular because she's sort of like contorting and twisting around. And this is the only product I know. I'm sure there's one other thing that does this, but you tell me, where you pick it up and you see it says 44 because that's the kilohertz. We're ready? We're going to get right to the reason you're buying this. It says 44. But what if we rotate it? Well, then it says 44 there. But what if we rotate it again? Well, then it says 44 there. What the fuck if we rotate it again? It says 44 there. It works in any orientation. It's an orientationless device. Has no feet. Like, I guess if you went with the way the words are written on the rear input, then this is the correct orientation. There's a screen here, an infrared input here, and a button. And the button, you press it, and input 1, input 2, input 3, input 2 is fiber optic, is what we're using. The end. You hold it, it shuts off. Little red light comes on. I really do like when they're like a little red standby light. I remember equipment from the 80s. My father had a ton of it. When you shut it off, there was a little red light to show that it was plugged in, but not on. When you turned it on, that little red light went off, and the whole screen lit up and said Pioneer, VSX, D1S, and the fucking VU meters and everything else. And modern equipment doesn't do that, and I hate it. This $110 DAC is doing it right. So it's red, showing that it's in standby mode. Then you press that button, the light goes off, it says S10, SU01, 44. I don't know what the fuck the rest of that shit means, but there you go. It's powered via USB, and it may have come with a cable, but I'm Zeos, and I just sort of threw everything away as soon as I got it out of the box. So I'm using this crazy, I don't know where I bought this. Might have been Amazon. Does it have a brand name on it? Meridian? Mainlander? Mid Harbor? I don't know. Anyway, it's a USB micro, which I hate, but I have this cool fucking cable, this coiled cable that's a USB micro, so fuck you. I'm going to use it. It also has two USB micros. It has a USB micro for power and one for auxiliary power. I don't know. Aux power? Let's see if it works on aux power. I'm going to unplug this. Plug it into aux power. S10, U2, 01, 44. So it has two power inputs. Is in power, in or power and aux power. Obviously, the in or power one means the USB input. So instead of using optical, you'd use it as your data. But if you're not using it as your optical, so you have two USB ports, you can plug in either one for just power, or the bottom one is the one that's used for actual signal. That makes perfect sense. They should just say one is for signal. However, they didn't even cut it off. You could just use it for both. I'm using it for both. It's fantastic. So you can actually have an auxiliary battery backup. So here's my fiber optic input. Here's a coaxial digital input. Left and right indicators. None of the RCAs have color coding. They're all just black, which is, again, like old school 80s gear. Old Japanese stuff didn't actually have colored indicators. It just had RCAs with the indicators on the right. So there's that. The fact that the actual screen rotates or moves. I thought they were going to do this with one screen, but I guess it was cheaper just to do it with two identical screens. And it gives you feet in case you do pick your orientation. But that's unique. That's unique on the Z Reviews book. The book of Z Reviews is very, very long, and that is still a unique product. So how do I review a DAC? Well, first thing you do is you make sure the inputs work, which I've done. You pick one for the review, which is optical because it's so fucking easy to run a giant 5-way splitter here and just feed, optical signal to everything that needs it. Hook up a good set of RCAs. Those are the world's best cables. Hook it up to an amplifier you know and trust. Topping A90. Hook the amplifier you know and trust up to headphones you know and trust, which are these are the Mackies. What are these? The Mackie 450s, MC 450s, with the stock pads that are so fucking amazing. Put them on, pick music you know, like Ungraves Family, and then just listen to it. That's it. That's how Z reviews a DAC. Does it have cool features? Well, it has a remote. Raindrops are falling on my head. But that doesn't make a word, but don't know war these words. Sounds really good. All right, so let's mute that. Hit mute, and it blinks. The negative 01 was because I had the volume slightly down. So I'm trying to break in the 560s. So it's a standard SMSL remote. You've seen this 500 fucking times. I should just review the remote and then just link it in the description. But that'll probably be harder to do than just saying, hey, it's an SMSL remote. You press C to control everything because these are the 3 presets. So we're currently muted. We unmute. You can power it off. It gets the red indicator. You unpower it off. S10. I guess it's trying to be like the 10th anniversary Sanskrit. S10. Up and down or volume. If you're using it for just like a DAC to a headphone amp, you would just leave it at 0. It goes from 0 to negative 40. 0 being the absolute loudest it will go, or the right output, and negative 40 all the way down. So they're a little bit chunky. There's probably 2 decibels each. Kind of like the SMSL SP200 or M200 DAC. We got some filter choices. 5, 6, 6. 5. I'm going to go with filter 5. I don't know, I can't hear the difference, but I'm going with filter 5. That's the center button. Left and right do nothing. Input obviously changes input. 3 is not plugged in. 1 is not plugged in. 2 is fiber optic. Function does shut off the screen. And then that red indicator becomes a blue indicator. So let's see if that stays. Let's see if that's persistent. So I'm shutting it off. It's a red indicator now. Turn it back on. Blue indicator. Hey, what do you know? It's persistent through turn off. So if you don't want to see it light up at all or say anything, you just shut off the screen. That's kind of nice. It's got nice features. I have a little bit of a history. I have a little bit of history with Sanskrit. You see, the SMSL Sanskrit, I forget which one it was, but it was on this channel the first DAC that I did. I think before the ODAC. Was the ODAC first? Like, I'm talking about like strictly signal in, thing out, done. Not combo, not like the Lox GD30 here, where it's, you know, signals and digital signals in and analog signals out, but also it's a headphone amplifier. Yay! Purely a DAC, just a box that converted. It was basically the very first time I had experienced what an external sound card is. Because a sound card, when you put it in your computer, it plugs into the slot in your motherboard, and then you have outputs. So a Sanskrit version 1 was just plug it in USB, and you get outputs. The end. Not even a volume control. You have a volume control on your fucking sound card, unless you have one of those stupid boxes. It's creative. I will not review creative stuff. Don't ask me to. Stop it. They've not proven themselves once to have anything good that I should look at. If multiple other reviewers say, hey, Cios, did you hear that, you know, all these other actual reputable reviewers say this is great and not just gaming channels? Then maybe. Like if CNET says it's good, don't come to me. But the Sanskrit, to go through as many revisions as it has and have its like 10th anniversary DAC appear, and it costs $110, which is roughly about what the original Sanskrit cost. It's like $100 down to like 70, 80. And then it gone up and the new version down. And I haven't, like, no one sent this to me. I just thought because I haven't used a Sanskrit DAC in so long, I'd give it a listen. So here we are. Complaining because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. I'm free. And this is free to rotate. Like, oh no, my DAC fell down. Oh, it's fine. It also the fact that it comes in red, blue, and black. The trifecta. Well, black, I could go without black ever again. Although, no, it's standard black. I thought it was going to do something cool. I should just straight the fuck up order a red one. because I'm OCD, and then I could have monoblocked DACs that are in red and blue, and then they could have individual volume controls. I could do balance adjustment. Do I need that? Do I need 2 DACs for monoblock? Because I'm doing it in my living room. Well, my living room. This is my old living room from my apartment. It's my clip chassis with the crown amps, so they have the separate top and bottom control, and there's a mini DSP, and there's a nano digi, and there's DACs. This is a Element 2 EL DAC 2s on both sides, so 2 stereo DACs, and then they're using as stereo things. So I could do the same thing here. My OCD is like, you want the red one also. Buy the red one. So you could have 2 identical. This is good enough, as far as I could tell, through the A90, which is a pretty fucking revealing amp. Let's put it that way. It doesn't have the waifu sticker on it because I don't like it. It's got the sticker on it because I'm like, oh shit, this is really good. In fact, it's the benchmark of all the amps I have. If you said I need the amp, the most amp you've got for headphones, it's the topping A90. So plugging in the Sanskrit with good cables, well, cables really don't matter, but I like these cables a lot because they're super nice. Not sponsored by them, by the way. I wish I was.
Yeah, fill me up.
Has it been hours? I think I muted my phone for 6 hours. I've been doing a lot of reviews today. Anyway, so plugging this into this.
Yeah, fill me up.
Hold on. Go, go, go with a happy kissy face. Plugging this into this, and then plugging this into these, which these I said are like basically 1990 neutral accuracy, like favorite mixing monitor. If I'm telling you it's a solid DAC, it is. The end. Sorry for hiding the waifu for that long. But that's it. This is a short one, baby. Hey, Zeos, I need a DAC. I got $110 to spend. Well, luckily you, this is $109. Buy a Sanskrit 10th. I could say that now. I was literally telling people to buy it before I even tested it, because they've never been bad DACs, but they keep upgrading the internals. In fact, I'll even read the internals for you, because I know how much you guys love when I just start reading AKM. Oh God, it's an AKM. Didn't that factory burn to the ground? I think that factory burnt to the ground. So just so you know, there's gonna be a short. You know what? I'm gonna buy a red one. I'm gonna buy a red one because the factory burned to the ground. And did I just do that? It made me sign in. Did I buy it? No, now I'm gonna buy it. Okay, no thanks. I don't want to add a thing. Placing my order. Because the AKM factory, thank God I looked this up, or I would have saved money just now. Anything terrible in my continue shopping? The AKM high-end AK4493 DAC chip is 9.3 is decent. Like the 9.9 is the high-end one, but carefully adjusted to maximize the performance, because they're doing a DAC chip is not the end of the world. It's not like, oh, I have this in it, therefore it's the same as everything else with that in it. SMSL still has to do their shit with the power routing and how they're dealing with it internally. And you just get a chip. You just get a small block Chevy V8. It matters what car you put it in, what the balance is like. It's still a car. You just are taking that engine and putting it in a car that you've designed. So having an AKM high-end AK4493 DAC chip means shit all if you put it into a Yugo with no corner balancing. It's just going to fucking crash. Shitty tires going to crash. So I actually like that they've done a good job with this. It's got 2 Japanese NDK ultra-low phase noise clocks, greatly reducing the system jitter. Compatible with most phones, iPads, computers, and other devices, so you can plug your phone into this if you wanted to. Built-in gravity accelerated transducer. Automatically switches the screen, ! Which they're very proud of, and I'm very proud of. So I think now I'll take my 2 of these, which I now have 2 of them. And even though they're not USB fucking C, and I'm gonna get a little more pissy about that. Just gonna. Hopefully the 11th anniversary, they just ditch this whole fucking micro shit. Just ditch the micro shit. I'm only not upset right now because I get to use this awesome cable, which I never get to really use because I needed a power cable, and I'm like digging through my bag that's in my box. Yeah, we're gonna have a DAC shortage, by the way. We're gonna have a lot of problems once it goes to that factory, because apparently they only had one factory and they didn't have their storage anywhere else, and everything burned to the ground. So now, Batman. Otis Taylor, I'm not mysterious. You know, I'm done with this review. It's good. I bought a second one. I want to have a red and a blue one. I'm gonna fucking have the pair, and I'm gonna somehow wire the right channel from the red one and the left channel from the blue one, and I'm gonna... It'll be fine. It'll look super fucking cool. It sounds good enough to trust it. Let's put it that way. And for $110, and I can purchase it, YOLO. Anyway, that's it. There's nothing else to discuss with this DAC. I'm going to power it off. It's going to put on a perfect standby light, just like I want. You can download that wallpaper of a girl contorting herself. I don't recognize the outfit. She's great. Someone knows who that is. I don't know who it is. Also, she doesn't have the matching leg thing on her other leg. Is that part of the outfit? But download that in the description. You can crop that out, put it on your phone. Check out my Subscribe Star and my Patreon to support this channel. See these reviews early. You're going to know about the AKM factory burning down if you watch it on my Patreon before the public review. So I'd get on that. So see the reviews early. Ask me questions on platform. Those questions will take time to get to. But if you participate in the yard sales for the $5 tier, you could win something. And by win, I mean you'll bid on it and then you'll win. And then I ship free content to the United States. It's half shipping international right now. It actually may become 2/3 shipping I pay for because shipping is insane. Like I may have to actually stop shipping things overseas. It is not good. But yes, that's what I just said. So join the yard sales, ask questions on platform, either Subscribe Store or Patreon. See the reviews early, and if you want to get into the $10 behind-the-scenes private Telegram chat, I'll answer any questions you have like immediately. Like Pasta just messaged me, it'll just say Patreon. Actually, it doesn't alert the Patreon because I check all the time anyway. So yeah, support this channel, enjoy its content, download its waifus, and I will see you all tomorrow. Unless you want to go to Hi-Fi Guides and the Hi-Fi Guides forum and check those out too. I try to mention that at the end of every video, but no one stays this. Who's actually watching at the end? Type the letter 36. That's not a letter. Type the letter 36 in the comments if you're actually staying to the very fucking end. No one does. I'm leaving. We'll see how many people stuck around.